Welcome, Vnetwork Radio listeners and viewers. Welcome to another edition of Vnetwork Radio Talk. We have our special guest in the house, and make sure you share this broadcast. Hey, thank you for tuning in, and we have a special guest on tonight, Dr. Frederick Ware-Newsome. He is in the house, and we want you all to come on into the room. Don't forget to share this broadcast. We're live. Don't forget to share this broadcast with Dr. Frederick Ware-Newsome. He is here all the way from Baltimore, and you don't want to miss this fantastic interview right here on the Vnetwork Radio Talk show. I'm telling you, we're going to have a good time tonight. Hey, we're going to be taking calls. You can call into the studio here, and the number early, I'm going to give you this number early because we're going to be tackling some great questions. 860-461-7577. Make sure you pencil that in, and we're going to be taking calls a little bit later. But we're here with Mr. Frederick Newsome, and we're going to bring him into the studio right now. All right. How you doing, Mr. Newsome?
Donald, doing very good. Thank you.
Yes. It's so great to have you here on the Vnetwork Radio. I'm telling you, doing some fantastic work in Baltimore, and doing a lot of things. And let me just give you an introduction. Dr. Frederick Ware-Newsome is a former candidate for mayor of Baltimore, former advisory board member of the Stellar Gospel Music Awards, two-time board of governor nominee for the Grammy Awards and executive, and also much more. And also he's executive producer of the 26th Newsome Awards, Baltimore's biggest night in gospel music. We want to welcome Mr. Dr. Frederick Ware-Newsome right here on the Vnetwork Radio. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I'm looking at this introduction. I'm like, hold up. Well, who's he talking about again?
Yeah.
But thank you, Donald. I'm excited about being here tonight.
Yes, sir. So, tell us about yourself and how you got started and the work that you're doing in Baltimore.
Okay, so about me, and thank you for the opportunity to come on your broadcast. Really, it's really a pleasure and honor. I've been in the music business now nearly 30 years, and I started with working with the Stellar Gospel Music Awards, and when they were doing their, I think 11th show, and now I think they're on 35 or 36. So I had been working with them for like 15 or 20 years. So I've been working with them for a long time, but I actually started with them doing bus trip. Contacted them when they were on the show number 11, asked could I do bus trips to the Stellars, and they actually agreed and said yes, we would love to have you do bus trips to the show, and it started from there. I did bus trips for several years with them, and after doing the bus trips, when they started their academy, Stellar Award Gospel Music Academy, they called me one day on the phone and said, well, Mr. Newsome, we were talking and your name came up in our meeting. So I just thought it was an honor just to have my name come up in their meeting. But when they started their advisory board, they call it Stellar Award Gospel Music Academy, SAGMA. They asked me, did I want to be one of their board members? And from that point, when I became a board member for the academy, that just that just was really like one of the top things you can do is be a part of the Stellar Awards and on the advisory board. And that was the first board they started. And I was on there for 4 years, and then the Grammy saw the things I was doing with the Stellars, and they wanted me to be. I was nominated for board of governor a couple times, but they just wanted to put me on the board. They didn't want people to vote for me on their particular board. They said, no, with his credentials, let's just put him on our board. But obviously, other board members were like, no, he had to be voted on just like everybody else. So I didn't get on, but just to be nominated for those two major award shows was really, really, really an honor. I was so humbled that they even thought that much of me to even want me on their boards. But like anything, to God be the glory, because it was really something that I wasn't looking for. I wasn't planning, but it just panned out that way. And I went from that point advising the Stellars, and I said, well, the Grammys want me to advise them as well. I said, you know what? The next best thing was to do my own show. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really where the birth of the Newsom Awards came from. Is that serving with with the Stellars, and then being nominated for the Grammys, and the next best thing was to start the Newsom Awards, and now we are into our 26th show, and God has just been magnificent, marvelous. I mean, I don't know everything that you can imagine. God has been all that and some. So that's why we're even in the music business. That's why we're here where we're at today. So the 26 Newsom Awards is really off to an explosive start. Even through the pandemic, God has found ways to just to just open doors. So this year we're doing our 26 Newsom Awards at the Baltimore Convention Center, which is huge to do an event at the Baltimore Convention Center.
Uh-huh.
So even through the pandemic, we're still moving forward. We're still trusting God. We're still, if social distancing is in place, we're going to have to comply with it. But then again, we never know. It may not be in place at that time. So we never know what God is going to do. But yet, Donald, we still plan. We still trust God, and we still moving forward in the name of the Lord. So God has opened massive, massive, massive doors for us.
All right. Hey, I'm getting so many messages out here, and we got. I want to thank all of our viewers. Yes, thank you for tuning in. We got Celeste Crenshaw here, and so many others. Cody, Prophet Kobe Spivey. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm telling you, we're doing some great things here, and uh, we want we want you all. If you have questions, make sure you type it in the chat as we talk. Now, Mr. Newsome, now is this awards for quartet? Is it for contemporary gospel music artists? What is the awards for? Uh,
The Newsom Awards, we honor individuals in all genres of music, in all walks of music. Let me say gospel music. But what we do also is we acknowledge authors, we acknowledge playwrights, we acknowledge actors, actresses. We had a couple of Newsom Award winners that actually ended up on Fox hit show Empire. So we acknowledge and honor individuals from all walks of life. And once we put them in for nomination and they get nominated, we look to see what they do after that. And some have many have been on TV, on the radio. They have been newspapers, magazines. They've been everywhere. God has opened massive, massive doors. And just to see the growth and expansion of the artists that win the Newsom Awards, and then seeing the things they go on to do after that, has really been a highlight of our show. So it's really open for everybody. If you're an author, artist, actor, actress, it's open for everybody. So quartet, choir, solo artist, group, duo, I mean, producer, in any of those categories, we are open, and God has blessed us to create a lot of doorways and a lot of avenues for a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people. So
all
we're
right.
really excited.
All right. Yeah, we got some callers calling in, and yes, we're here talking with Dr. Fred Ware-Newsome. He's one of the finest in the Baltimore area, and I'm telling you, he's doing some great things. And I know we're getting so many calls here at the studio, and once again, I'm gonna post your bio. Dr. Fred Newsome, Fred Ware-Newsome is a former candidate for mayor of Baltimore, former advisory board member of the Stellar Gospel Music Awards, two-time board of governor nominee for the Grammy Awards, and executive, and also executive producer of the 26th Newsome Awards, Baltimore's biggest night in gospel music. And we're here talking with Dr. Frederick Ware-Newsome about the music industry and much, much more. I'm telling you. Yeah, so how can like artists, if they or people that would like to nominate different artists, how can they go about nominating different artists in the music industry?
Actually, they can go to our website, www.newsomekingdom.com, www.newsomekingdom.com. And actually, we have a nomination form on the website. As soon as you come to the first page, and they can click on that form and they can fill it out, select who they want to nominate, or themselves. If they're an artist, they can go on there and nominate themselves for the awards. And we function. We don't go on how people are rating on different like SoundScan, Nielsen. We don't go on any of those things. We actually go on the integrity of the artist. We go on the integrity of the project. We go on how well the project is put together. So we designed our own matrix system where we rank and grade the different artists that submit projects or information, or even some will even just send us a link, and we'll just look at their website, or so we just look at so many different things through our matrix system that it is totally different than what you see nowadays. Because a lot of people do a lot of the online voting and things of that
Right.
nature. Well, we actually, I believe we the first ones that started that back in 2004, 2005.
All right.
And once we saw so many people doing the same thing we were doing, we had to develop a new system. So now we use our matrix system that was just designed by us. So that way, people can't figure out that system. So we make it flows pretty good. It's very effective. So we got us to put us in a lot of areas, but they can definitely go to our website, newsomkingdom.com, submit their project, submit their information, and they can email their project. They'll see all the information on the form. They can email the project. The different categories is on the form, so they can select which categories they want to submit for. Send it to us, and nominations open from January 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2021. So they have time to do all that right now, and once we get them all in categories, we'll after March we'll let them know who the nominees are, and then everybody make their preparation to come to Baltimore for the 26th annual Newsom Awards. They'll have an amazing time. They'll love it.
Now at the award ceremony, now are you doing some like training courses in the music industry? Tell us a little bit about the typical day.
Well, we do. What we start off with is we start off with the red carpet, and that'll probably start. The show generally start at 5, 6. We'll do the red carpet like a couple hours before the show, and then there'll be a lot of photo ops, a lot of pictures taken. There'll be a lot of interviews. And then during that time when the show's being prepared, we'll line up the artists one that's going to be performing and the nominees, and then once we get everybody in house, then we start the show on time. Once we start the show, we'll have various performances. We'll have, some individuals, our Newsom Award success stories, where actually people that have won the Newsom Awards actually went to serve their business, went on to service individuals in the White House. And I can't get specific on that because they kind of swore me to secrecy, so I can't get
All
specific
right.
on that. But it's really so it'll be a fun time. You'll have a lot of performances, a lot of awards will be given out. You'll see our Miss Newsom Award, USA, World, and Universe crowned at the show. You'll see the Newsom Award praise dancers. You will see a whole litany of things going on at the show, and but mostly, what everybody noticed about the Newsom Awards is that the friendly environment, the
Mm-hmm.
friendly atmosphere, and people tell us constantly, they say, Dr. Newsom, we don't understand. Why is it so friendly at the Newsom Awards? And some people are like, did you handpick everybody that comes to the show? But we try to make sure we have the most relaxed show possible.
That's great.
And I mean, it's a fun, family friendly atmosphere. And I think we're one of the only shows that actually have a family atmosphere where you could bring your children. You can bring, and I've never heard children come to an award show. And I told the team, I said, no, if the award show is a family show, then that means you can bring the family. And
Right.
I think we're one of the only award shows that I know of where you can actually bring your children, because we feel that if the mother or the father or the group or whoever's being honored, we feel your children should be there to enjoy the same experience that you're enjoying. And most of the time, people leave their children home like, no, no, no. Bring them to the Newsom Awards. You'll have fun. There'll be other young people there. There'll be other children there, and it'll be a fun atmosphere for them. So, and plus, we're planning a lot of events around that time in Baltimore. So it'll be actually Newsom Award weekend we're planning like several different events. That Sunday, we're looking to do a Newsome Awards Kids Day. We want to see how many young people we can get involved and do a Newsome Awards Kids Day, and we want to make that free to all the children. So there's different things we're planning to during Newsome Award weekend in Baltimore in October, in August. So everybody definitely better get excited. I mean, this I'd say this is the funnest show on earth.
Yes, and we have Celeste Crenshaw, who was a 2013 nominee. That said this is awesome, and she said she enjoyed this the last time she attended. And I'm telling you, don't make it your last time. Come on out and
Yeah,
support, support,
and
support.
it's going to be bigger and better than in 2013 because we're using the Baltimore Convention Center. Obviously, that seats a whole lot more people. So
Yeah,
we're expecting between 2 to 3 thousand people at that show in Baltimore. So
yeah.
with social distancing, we may have to trim down the numbers, but as long as we can put on the show, we feel very excited about it.
hmm Now, now on your website, does it talk about hotel reservations, special hotel reservations, things like that?
We're getting ready to put that up now. We've
Mhm.
contracted that. We've got I think about 3 or 4 hotels we've contracted with. We're waiting to put that information up now and the rates and all that good stuff. So we have talked with hotels that's near the convention center.
All
We
right.
didn't really want to talk with hotels that were really far out. But if we have to, we will. But right now, the several 3 or 4 hotels that we have are right near the convention center. So that'll be. We're trying to make it as Donald as convenient as possible. So
Yeah.
we want it so nobody has to rent a car or whatever have you. So that's logistics we're working out now to make sure it's as comfortable as possible.
And you know, you're gonna have artists that's gonna be performing that at the event and things like that.
Yeah, we're going to be have artists performing, and what we're actually on the verge of now is that during the week because we have events going on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we actually trying to pull together at least 100 artists to perform during that weekend.
All
So
right.
right now, we pretty have it outlined pretty well, and we have a lot of artists that have submitted their names.
Uh,
So I think no stone unturned. So we're trying to make sure. And one thing I say this, I think we're one of the only award shows that try to give everybody a chance and an opportunity, and a lot of individuals have applauded that effort for us to wonder like how on earth are you giving these as big as your name is, why did you let all these artists come on? Because I'm gonna take this down. When I started certain things I've started, people didn't want to give opportunities and chances. And I
hmm
said, no. I said, I will not let people suffer like that. And then especially we talking about music ministry. So we try to find ways to include everybody. Now, obviously, everybody can't get on the main show, but because time would definitely not permit that. But we try to add different elements to the show so that we can, or do that during that weekend where different people can perform during that weekend. So right now, like I said, we're looking for a list of 100. We got about 30, 35 artists now, and
hmm
we're looking for a list of 100 to make it such an exciting weekend in Baltimore that we want you, like you said, we want you to come back year after year after year. Some people been coming for years and years and years. They've been coming a long time. And even so, I appreciate her taking part in the Newsome Awards. And I mean, we have some amazing people. I tell people we have the best people on earth come to the Newsome Awards.
All
The
right.
best people on earth.
Yes, yes. Hey, I know so many of our viewers are out there wanting to call in to the call in line. The number is 860-461-7577. We had calls in at the beginning of the program, and I'm telling you, I mean, people are so excited about the Newsome Awards and and about getting here to Baltimore. Transportation, and people now tell us what parts of the country folks are going to be coming from.
Well, actually, Newsome Awards, they come from all over the country. We have
Okay.
individuals coming from at one year, I think it was like 20 something states we counted. So,
Uh-huh.
because we kind of track, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, California, New York, Illinois, Virginia, DC, where else? Pennsylvania.
All right.
Delaware. They come from everywhere, 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 and we just can't keep up with it anymore. We tried to before, and but it got to the point we can't keep up anymore. We just stopped tracking it, so,
All right.
because it was just it was people from everywhere.
We got Linda Sanders in the house, national recording artist, and Linda. This is the Newsome Awards. We got to get you nominated for the Newsome Awards in Baltimore. She's a national recording artist. She's doing some great work in the music industry, and I know Dr. Newsome would love to have you come to Baltimore. All right.
For sure.
All right. Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be great. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it would be amazing to have Linda. And is now can she talk or she can just view?
She can call into the studio. Hey, Linda, if you can give us a call here into the studio. Mr. Newsome would like to speak with you. 860-461-7577. 860-461-7577. Yep, you got to get on the list. Yes, she's messaging me now. She wants to get on the list. All right. So, yeah, Linda, if you can give us a call here at the studio, 860-461-7577. Any of the artists that are out there on Vnetwork Radio, make sure you if you have some questions, here is the time now to get your questions in. And also you can go to the website to get more information. And Mr. Newsome, can you give us the website for that information for the awards?
Yes, they can go to www.newsomekingdom.com, www.newsomekingdom.com, and they'll see the information on there, and they'll see a link for a nominee application. They can click that link, they can submit that project, and just mail it in. So we can start
Okay.
the process, and this is the perfect time to do it.
All right, we got callers calling into the studio. Hey, give us a call 860-461-7577. We have Mr. Newsome here, and we got some callers calling into the studio right now. And
Okay.
Lakia, she's on a switchboard, and she's gonna patch us in to the switchboard. Okay, caller, you're on.
Hi, this is Linda Sanders. How are you?
All right, we got Linda Sanders on. God
Good.
bless you.
Pleasant good evening, gentlemen. I was just watching and I am an indie artist, and I noticed you called all names, Mr. Newsom, except St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis. Oh, you know what? St. Listen, St. Louis been in there. Kansas City, Kansas. Kansas City. What is Kansas City? Got two cities, Kansas and whatever the other city. So St. Louis, Missouri is in there. But listen, you still can come in from St. Louis.
All right. All right. Linda, yes. So we're looking forward to having you at the Newsome Awards and, get your nomination in. And it's just a click of a button, to go there on the website and download the forms and send them back electronically.
I
Hmm.
would definitely go into the website and submit my application, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, God has been doing great things in my life, so I'm looking at this being another blessing.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yes. Have you ever been to Baltimore?
Never in my life, never.
See, there we got to change that now.
Yes, we do.
You got to come to Baltimore. Baltimore is an amazing city. I love Baltimore, and I think God will open some amazing doors for you. And I like to tell Donald, artists go from the Newsom Awards, and when we see them, not every artist, but when we see the artists that have been nominated and won the Newsom Awards, and then we see them on TV, we see them on videos, we see them in movies, we see them everywhere, and it just amazes us the doors that God opened for a lot of these artists. And and like I said, we saw a couple of them ended up on Fox hit show Empire. One of them was with Shine when he was on there. One of his major goon actually won like 3 or 4 Newsome Awards for Actor of the Year. And then Shine's baby mama, it was one of the young ladies that won like 3 Newsome Awards. And when I saw them on TV, I'm like, oh my goodness, God is opening some major doors, and it's really humbling to see the things that God is doing. And I mean, the News Awards artists just everywhere. I can't even point them out anymore. We used to can kind of track them, but now it's just so many we can't track them anymore. But we look at the success God has blessed, and one artist says he actually serves his product at the White House. So when he told us that, so he's going to come back and talk about his News Award success story.
All
So
right.
this year's show is going to be really, really exciting. I can't tell you everything on the live, but it's really, really exciting to see what God is doing in everybody's life.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
I am so honored, and I know you guys got to go on, and I'm not going to hold you long, but I am honored and feel very privileged to be able to call in and speak with you on this evening. I really am.
Oh, my pleasure. Oh, my goodness. My pleasure. Totally.
All right. Thank you, Linda, for calling, and we'll be in touch. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Donald. You guys have a blessed evening, and remember me in your prayers. I'll do the same.
All right. Thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you.
All right. Hey, those of you that can give us a call, telephone number is 860-461-7577 is the number. We're talking with Dr. Newsome, talking about the Newsome Awards. We want you to show up in Baltimore. And Dr. Newsome, give us the dates and times.
Newsome Awards is going to be from August 5th through August 8th, August 5th through August 8th. We're going to have during that week, we're going to have a Newsome Business Expo where we're looking for 100 businesses to take part in the expo. So, and that would be a great opportunity for artists to talk and get their product out there to different individuals. Then after that, we're going to have a beauty pageant that Friday. So we're going to focus on that. Then we're going to have actually a Newsome Cosmetic showing, and then Newsome Jewelry showing, and on that Friday, and then the Saturday, and I think we got scheduled Newsome Artist Showcase, and then that Saturday we're gonna have the Newsome Awards show, and then that Sunday we're gonna have a Newsome Awards Kids show for that Sunday. So this is the first time we're doing the kids show, so we're really excited about that. So I tell you, we always add new elements to the show, and we try to keep the kids involved, which I know a lot of people don't even focus on children at all. But that's our future that we're not even taking the time out with. And then we scheduled a News Award Praise Dance workshop, and we want to schedule an artist workshop as well. So we have a lot of things that we're scheduling for that weekend. So it's going to be August 5th through the 8th in Baltimore, Maryland. This year, 2021. So I mean, these years are flying. So 2021, but it's going to be totally awesome. Totally awesome.
Hey, we want you all to join us, and I'm telling you, we're gonna have a good time in the Lord. You know, we're gonna have choirs, soloists, quartet artists, you name it. And I'm looking for all of our Vnetwork radio artists because when they show up, they show out, and let God have His way. You know.
Yes.
And so we want all of our Vnetwork radio artists to show up in the house in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm telling you, and don't forget to download your nomination forms. Now, Mr. Newsome, the nomination process. Now, can people nominate themselves, or the groups and choirs and things like that, or does other people have to, like their producers or different ones, have to nominate them for the awards?
You know, Donald, that's a good question. And for our show, individuals can nominate themselves. So nobody has to nominate you. And like I said, with the normal outline for award shows, we do not follow none of that. They do not have the project. They don't have to have a certain amount of CD sales or streams or downloads, or we focus on none of that. None of that is of no interest to us. We look on the integrity of the artist. That's the only thing we look at, the integrity of the artist. We look at their CD packaging. We look at their performance. We listen to their music. We just look at everything that relates to the artist. We don't look at none of those things that everybody else look at. And how did you chart here? We don't care about none of that stuff. If we promote the artist.
And tell me something, Mr. Newsome. The categories. Now, you just mentioned the different music categories that they'll be nominated in. Now, will it be for radio personalities? Will it be for actors, organizations? How does that work?
Yeah, it'll be for radio personalities, actors, actresses, producer of the year. What we cover everything. Author of the year, um, business of the year, business owner of the year,
All right.
radio personality of the year, like Donald. But
Well, I'm gonna get my tuxedo ready.
I just throwing that name right quick. Uh,
All right. Yes, sir.
but yeah, we try to cover everything. Instrumentalists of the year. Just we just look for
Okay.
all that talent, all the individuals God have blessed. We look for all those.
Now, do you have breakout sessions where you like doing breakout sessions for the award ceremony? Sometimes folks have breakout sessions. No.
No, we actually this year we're going to put in more. We want to include more training sessions.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
and sometimes on the stage, I will actually just take a few minutes just to talk about different things about the music business, or I'll have somebody come up and talk about different things about the music business,
Hmm.
where it'll be educational because we want
Hmm.
to make sure everybody educated, everybody walk with some knowledge. And we one thing we pride ourselves on is everybody have to walk away with something from the Newsome Awards. So whether it's something we taught them, whether it's something we showed them, and we're the type of show that um, we found out this one young lady, this young girl, 8 years old, that she wanted to get 100 book bags for 100 homeless children.
Hmm.
So we thought that was an amazing idea. Came across it on Facebook, on the internet, and we actually brought her and her mom to the Newsome Awards. And we actually, when they came on stage, I had sent her a donation for her project for the book bags, and we actually had her come on stage and honor her with I think an award or plaque or something. But what we did is we actually raised money at the show for her, and all these people are giving her money for the book
Wow.
bags for these homeless children.
Hmm.
But even for an 8 year old to take that initiative, that was something worthy, definitely of being being honored. And that young lady walked away so blessed. I have no clue what she took in. I don't get that. Those things are not my concern. But
Yeah.
the having the opportunity to come on stage and to talk to people about what she's doing. And her mom was telling me, she said, Dr. Newsom, everybody just kept coming to us after we sat down and just started giving us money, giving us money, giving us money. And I said, well, I hope that was a blessing to get those 100 book bags. You
All
see what I'm
right.
saying? So God has put us in a position we can create opportunities for a lot of people, and that's something we really, really, really excited about. And that young girl, I mean, she was just in tears. But God was doing a great work, and for her to take that initiative to help the homeless children, which is something you don't really hear about, and it really was an honor for us to honor her and to be a
Hmm.
blessing to her. So we get instances like that where we definitely find it, it's a humbling experience, but it's a great experience because you're able to help somebody. Some people will say, well, Dr. Newsom, you help thousands and thousands of people. No, it's not the ones in the past, it's ones in the present and the future.
That's right.
Those in the past, that's done, that's gone, that's history. But we still have some present that need help and some in the future that need help. And
That's
those
right.
we love to help artists and individuals where we can. And that's our ministry. That's part of what we do.
And you're gonna have also music executives and producers there, record labels there
Hmm.
also.
Yep, there'll be an executive producer. I have about 5 friends that do award shows,
Hmm.
and usually each year I'll have them come on stage and tell what their show is. We're the only show that ever does that. I'm telling you right now, we're the only show that ever does that. There's 5 friends of mine that do award shows, and I've advised at least 15 shows around the country. And a lot of people wouldn't even know a lot of shows you hear of that I was a part of or I advised. So, but I have about 5 friends that come to the show that do their own award shows, and I have them come on stage and I introduce them all. And I told people, they said, well, why do you let other individuals that do their award shows come on your show and introduce themselves? I said, because we look at it as ministry. We look at it as one helping another.
Hmm.
Now, it's it's a part of what makes us one, what makes us work together as one. And then I said, if I have them come on stage and you see them, then now you can turn around and know who they are, and you don't have to ask me who are they because I've introduced them on stage. So it's like I said, we keep it a family fun atmosphere.
Hmm.
And it isn't like, oh, this is the Newsom Awards, don't say nothing on my show. No, that we don't even believe in none of that. We try to make sure we stay one. We're a unit. We're a community. We're united. There's so many things that we do, and we know a lot of other people don't do. But this is ministry for us. This is ministry, and if I can help, if we can see some way we can help, we'll try to jump in and help where we can. Get in where we fit in. That's what I say.
Yeah, so it's going to be an awesome time, and my daughter, she's in Baltimore, Maryland, and so
Really?
the
Okay.
opportunity for me to get to Baltimore for vacation, I'm telling you, and visit the family there and just have a good time, I'm telling you. And yeah, so to those of you, we're here with Mr. Newsome, and he's talking about the Newsome Awards that's coming up, the 2021 Newsome Awards, and you want to make your way, start making plans now. And give us some tips on a lot of times people, what they do is wait till the last minute
Right.
to try to get to these different events, and give us a little tips on how to plan for these type of events.
Yeah, I would tell you what people ask me, well, why do you plan the News Awards so far in advance? And actually, we start planning the next year's News Awards before the previous show even comes. And
Yeah.
my team knows that we have to plan these shows a year in advance. So us having to plan these shows a year in advance means the attendees, the nominees, they have to plan a year in advance. So they have to, if an artist, to me, has to outline their calendar. They have to outline their schedule to where the events they want to attend every year, and make it a part of their daily routine, their yearly routine. And if I was an artist, I would fill my schedule up with the 52 weeks in the year to make sure I have 52 events going on every year, and just start marking them on the calendar. Okay, News Awards is always the first weekend in August. Mark that on your calendar, then, whatever else they have on their calendar, just begin to mark and prepare what's going on, to make their year full. And I would
Hmm.
encourage any artist to fill that calendar and make sure you get out the most you can of every weekend or every event you attend. Make sure you get the most out of all that and plan properly. Because if you plan early, that's the time to get discount on airline flights, discount on car rentals, hotels. If you plan early, that's the time to get the discount on everything. And that definitely, being an artist, they have to find out areas to save money and to keep moving their ministry forward. When people spend a whole lot of money and then wonder, well, why can't I do this, or I ran out of money, can't do that? Because you got to plan properly, and you got to make sure you budget, do things within your budget, because that's where it's going to get you the most. It's going to be most effective. So you can't just say, okay, we'll do something 30 days before the show. Well, 30 days before our show is late. So so we do things way in advance, and they have to plan their schedule way in advance, because that's what's going to make the biggest difference, and they're going to get the most out of their um, monies. But as well as while they're in Baltimore that weekend, they can start making, like you said, you have family here. Plan a family visit. We're also trying to schedule tours to DC, sightseeing. So we're trying to plan and schedule different things for that weekend, and they need to do the same thing as well. Make that a part of their schedule. Just start planning their time here in Baltimore at the Newsome Awards, and obviously get your tickets early for the show. So, but that definitely all would help out in making their arrangements as artists to make sure they're covering every footstep. And I encourage artists all the time. You got to save money, save money, save money. Don't always want to spend on the most expensive thing, or don't always want to, well, I gotta, have this or have that. Listen, you can look amazingly nice on a nice budget. You don't have to spend all on money on this and that and the other. No, no, no. You can budget yourself very well and make every dollar stretch. Make every dollar stretch. They come to Newsom Awards. I just told you there's at least five other award show producers that's at the Newsom Awards. So right there alone, that simply is worth the ticket cost right there, because you'll be meeting at least 4 or 5 other individuals that do their own award shows. And you can contact them and try to be a part of what they're doing. And then with the record labels and the producers and all these different individuals that's at the show, I mean, media, there's there's opportunity everywhere at the Newsom Awards. So when people, look at the ticket price and what you get from the ticket price, I mean, it's a no-brainer. News Awards is your go-to because I mean, I've attended a lot of other award shows, and I haven't even got half of what I should get from the show. Because the thing of it is, you want to make connection, because making those connections is going to send you to the next 5, 10. So if people, I'm gonna say this real quick. Artists that come to News Awards, they should put on their calendar to make at least 10 to 20 connections because those connections will take you to the next 10 or 20 events or whatever have you. Like I said, my friends that do award shows, you may want to connect with them and ask them how can you be a part of their show. So
That's
so
right.
I mean that's 5 connections right there. But I would encourage any artist that come to News Awards, make at least 10 to 20 connections. And that way you will begin to fill up your calendar. And that's what you want to do. You want to fill your calendar. So 52 weeks in a year, you want to make sure you got 52 events going on. You want to make sure you got something going on over and over because that'll start the branding process of your ministry of what you do. You want to brand your name, brand your name, brand your name. You want to keep your name out there. And the best way to keep it out there is to attend events and make yourself known. Just tell them, you want to do this, be a part of this event, or be a nominee or something. Just keep your name out there, brand your name, and I guarantee you brand your name will go far places than you can ever reach. News Awards is known all over the world, but I haven't been all over the world.
Mhm.
But your name will go a lot further than what you can. So just that wisdom and knowledge to make sure you're pushing yourself and you're pushing your ministry and you're getting everything out of definitely being that nuisance was get everything out of everything that's going on and at least make 10, 20 contacts. I mean, viable contacts, not just getting people business
Right.
cards and you don't do nothing with them. I got 1,000 business cards and and all I did was collect them. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a great networking. Hey, we got Prophet Cody Spivey. Hey, Prophet Spivey, if you got some young people that are artists in your church, I think he's in the Florida area. Yeah, and you want to come up to the East Coast. Yeah, definitely come on up to the East Coast. I know Dr. Newsom would love to have you and a lot of your church members to come in on the bus, and I'm telling you,
mhm.
have a real good time. Uh, and yeah, definitely, it's going to be an awesome time there in Maryland. And you have a lot of different areas where people can go and do tours. You said Washington D.C., right?
Right, yeah. So we adding the tour schedule to the show to the weekend because so many people come to the East Coast. Like even individuals come from Florida, California, Georgia, southern states, western states, mid states, and they will come to this close to Washington D.C. They might as well see some of the amazing landmarks there. I've been there. I've done taken so many pictures in Washington. I can't even tell you how many. But it's like going each different time, you just see so many different things there, and it's really amazing to come to our nation's capital, which is right up the street from Baltimore. It's not
Mm-hmm.
far from Baltimore at all, probably about a 40-minute drive. And you in DC, and you can just see a lot of things, just a lot of amazing landmarks. The White House, the Lincoln Memorial, the Martin Luther King Memorial, um, um, what is it? The Washington Monument, Capitol Hill. You can see the African American Museum. You can
What?
just see
Wow.
so many things right there, and they're all in close proximity of each other.
All
So
right.
I would think just even for it to come, and this is during the off day of the show. It's not on the day of the show, but it's during the off day of the show. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we want people to experience the news awards, not just music, not just artists singing, but we want them to experience other things at the Newsom Awards. And we know we carry a heavy agenda. We do our best to fulfill everything we want to do and make sure everybody have a good time. So that's definitely one of the biggest things is just going to Washington and seeing the different monuments and just enjoying the ambiance of everything that's going on there. So it'll be really fun and exciting.
Yeah, so we're here talking with Dr. Frederick Ware-Newsome, and we're talking about the Newsome Awards, and it's the 60. And what? How many years have
20,
you?
26 Newsom Awards.
26, 26. All right,
Right.
26 years.
So
Um,
some so with some years we did 3 or 4 shows. That's
Uh-huh.
how we got to 26 so fast. We started in 2004, 2005, but
Uh-huh.
then some years we did 3 or 4 shows because when we started, we didn't want everybody coming to us, so we decided we would go from different cities and states around the country.
Mm-hmm.
So we started like that, and some years we did 3 shows, 2 shows. But in doing that, it got to the point where since the Newsom Award name was so known so much and so big, we said, you know what, we'll settle down here in Baltimore and just do shows in Baltimore, and then have everybody come to us. So
Uh,
because we were traveling, it was costing us a fortune to go to all them different cities and states, and I mean, it was costing us a lot of money. And we decided, well, you know what? Let's just settle down in Baltimore and just do 1 show a year. So that's why we got to 26 so quick because we were doing so many shows a year. But now we only do the 1 show a year. So that's how come we jumped so quick to in numbers. So one of our big highlights of the Newsom Awards is when we went to Orlando, Florida. In Orlando, declared March 23rd Newsom Award Day in the city. And I mean, that proclamation, Donald, was, I thought then, once they did that in 2013, I thought we really had arrived. Like God really opened a major door for us. And so that was really a highlight moment for us with the Newsom Awards, where Orlando, March 23rd is Newsom Awards Day in the city of Orlando, and so it's just so many things that really stuck out as. But God has shown us great favor everywhere we've been, and there's no city we've been in that we cannot come back and go into. And I told the team, I said, no, we want to leave a good name everywhere we go, and there's no city or state that we've been in that we cannot come back to, and that's an amazing precedence for the Newsom Awards and the character of our show and my team that
uh-huh.
worked with us on the show.
Okay. Hey, Linda. Linda said August 7th is her birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, August. So she said I'm excited. Hey, Linda, but August 6th is my birthday.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So we're gonna be in Baltimore celebrating around the same time, I guess. Around the same time. So yeah.
That's
So come
perfect.
on out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and so we got so many viewers out there. Hey, if you all would like to give us a call, don't forget the telephone number is 860-461. That caller that called in before the show
Hmm.
want to get information about the Newsom Awards. You can give us a call back 860-461-7577. I'm telling you, let's see here. I knew you were okay. All right. Yes, we're in August. Yes, Yep. So yeah, give us a call. And yeah, give us a call on that number. So many people are chiming in. I'm monitoring the chat room now.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And as we speak, people are sending me messages about the Newsom Awards, and I'm trying to type back into it and give them the information. Yeah. So, hey, Dr. Newsom, if you can give us that website, because we have a few people that want to know what the website is, so they can write it down. Now, those of you that are out there, make sure you get your pen and piece of paper and write it down. All right. And then now, Dr. Newsom, are you going to have like flyers that's out about the Newsom Awards?
Well, actually, let me give you the website first. The website is www.newsomekingdom.com. Newsom is, and I know you have to see it on the screen. NEWSOME Kingdom KINGDOM.com, and they can go there and download the form, mail in the form, and just take part in the news. At least this is nomination process, and so this will be the first process, and then we'll once we get those nominations in, we'll just do different things from there. So there's a lot going on, a lot happening. Um, and what was your question, Donald? One more time.
Do you have flyers for this event happening for the Long Weeks event? Are you going to have flyers?
Well, we have brochures that my assistant, my partner, is designing now.
Okay.
That's going to be coming out. We usually don't do flyers because usually the show sells out. So we don't really do much advertising of flyers because the show usually sells out. But probably since we're using a larger venue, we probably will do flyers and promotional materials just so one, people can have the knowledge of it, and then two, um, they can be aware of something they can keep in, like, okay, as a reminder, okay, the new sports is August, 5th through the 8th weekend. So we'll probably put out something um, to remind people of what's going on with the Newsom Awards. So we probably will have some of those coming out. But we usually have a very busy time and very anointed time, and yeah, so we'll see what we can do as far as the flyers wise, and
Okay.
just look for everybody to because I know even when the nominees see the nomination form and see that they've been whoever been nominated, that will serve as a flyer to them.
Yeah, yes.
Because we
Also,
go
also,
ahead.
if you can, because I've got so many people that are uh, put in the chat. I'm doing like 5 different things. If you can, if you can, say that website again.
Yes.
Once.
www.newsomekingdom.com. Newsome is Newsome, Kingdom, KINGDOM.com. NewsomeKingdom.com. And that would be they can just go there and print off the downloadable form and mail it in, and look on the form, because there is a $50 registration fee. So make sure you look on the forum and see that. I don't want nobody to see no surprises like, oh, this and that. But I mean, really, for a show, the show the size of ours and the individuals we have come to the show, and that's a part of the show. I mean, I try to encourage artists. I said, listen, that's a small price to pay. That's a small price to pay, because once you see the things that happen and the events that go on, you're gonna realize it didn't even cost nothing. That didn't cost nothing.
All right. While we got you here, Dr. Newsom, I know that you're a former candidate for mayor in Baltimore. Can you give us some insight? What we saw over the weekend in our national landmark, our state, our capital. Can you give us some insight on, what has happened in our country?
Yeah, you know what, and Donald and the viewing audience, what happened in our nation's capital was when I saw it on TV. I didn't even think we were in our nation's capital. I didn't even think I didn't even think we were in America. To be honest with you, I mean,
Mhm.
I saw so much mayhem. I saw things go on I thought would never happen in America. But the way they stormed the Capitol, the way people died, I mean, I just saw a chaotic atmosphere, and I saw no containment. No, I mean, it looked like the door was open to ransack the nation's capital,
Mhm.
and to see people act like that, especially in the political arena, and then people talking about where they're patriots and they're this and they're that did not play out well anywhere in this country.
Right.
And realizing some of these people, I think it was Milwaukee. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they stormed the Capitol in Milwaukee, and some of the same people did the same thing in Washington D.C. So that's their nature. But if I were to look at it, and if I'm another country looking at America, I would think America have lost it. I
Right.
mean, they were like up the street from the White House, from the president.
That's
Now,
right.
what if they would have went to the White House and stormed the White House and done the same thing there? That would have been a million times worse than what we saw at the Capitol. And things like that, you cannot allow to happen. I think there should have been a greater police force, a greater military presence there. I think it should have been it should have been so much more security than what was there, especially having those big players in Capitol building, counting votes, and then all these individuals storm the Capitol. I mean, that's something you would probably see on TV play out in a movie or something, but that wouldn't be something you see play out in real life. So that kind of, I do not condone that type of attitude and that kind of anarchy and all those different things that go along with that, where your people are actually dying, and it was like a lot of people was like no concern to them. That can never ever play out in America ever again. And to me, just from me standing on the outside, there was nowhere near enough
Mm-hmm.
security present on the outside
Right.
to deal with that. But then again, the question was asked, well, what if all of them would have been black people? They would have probably all be dead. They probably would have all shot them all dead. And
Mm-hmm.
then definitely coming into the Capitol, they definitely would have been shot dead. So you see, there's a disparity in recognition and in race because just seeing how the police and the military were discussing with the individual who broke into the Capitol. Now that was alarming. They were discussing things with them, letting them go into different places, actually encouraging them to go into different places, and just ransack the Capitol. And I mean, that shows you the tyranny that's going on in this country, the
Mm-hmm.
insurrection that's going on in this country, the terrorism that's going on in this country. And to me, for the terrorist effect alone, that should have been something that should have been stopped immediately by the United States military. You
Mm-hmm.
can't let terrorist job is to terrorize. Those
That's right.
individuals terrorize the country. They terrorize the individuals in Capitol Hill, where they had to duck to keep from getting shot or whatever have you. They said some of them had guns and knives, and so there were so many things that were going on there that you know you'd have to be a white supremacist, a neo-Nazi, or KKK or something that to approve that type of attitude. And those things cannot play out in the United States of America ever again. So it shouldn't have played out then. But when you have people just opening the gates and opening the doors, kind of like you open the gate to hell, and you say, "Hey, all demons come out and attack as many as you possibly can," and that's exactly what they did. I mean, even like animals crawling up the side of the walls. What is that
Right.
about?
Yeah.
Crawling up the side of the walls like animals. I mean, it was just so much going on, and being that the majority of them were white, they could do that, and they got away with that, and the police didn't even try to stop them at all. And even, I mean, it was something that one I would never allow to play out in politics. I would never allow to play out because that was a terrible showing. And other countries looking at us, I'm sure, like we've lost it, and
Mm-hmm.
that is something that shouldn't have never happened in the United States of America.
Right.
And then the people had the luxury of doing that and then leaving and going home. And I'm like, what? How? Or no, you put a military force around them, you contain everybody right there, and you don't have to go find them because you got them there. They could have easily done that. Said, no, we're containing you right here. You're not going out of here, because even when the president crossed the street to do the photo op, they were shooting the protesters
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because he wanted to cross the street. They could have done the same thing then.
Yeah.
They didn't have to shoot him with bullets. They could have shot him with rubber bullets. They could have shot him with bean bags. They could have shot him with anything for them to stand down. But to let them come, and this young lady that died in there, those things should have never been allowed. But when you have leadership like that, the most violent things are going to happen because the leadership, when it's not strong, it's going to happen. Just like your household. If the husband or the man in the household is not strong and the children can run the house, that's really what you had on the other day. The leadership wasn't strong, and the people just run amok of the place of Capitol Hill, and unfortunately, people died. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why people are so comfortable with people dying. That doesn't even make sense. And so, no, that type, Donald,
Mm-hmm.
that type of atmosphere, we do not condone. We do not push that agenda at all. So I think everybody should be held to the highest extreme of the law. I think they should be identified as terrorists, and I think the military should handle them as terrorists,
Right.
not as they're citizens that just got the wrong. Well, forget that. And they came armed. They came ready to kill something or
Yeah.
somebody.
And then having bombs, all in the our national monuments,
Exactly.
and I mean, here's the thing. All of our lawmakers in every city and every state have to not just sit back like a jellyback and not address this whole situation because if you don't address it, it's going to come to your yard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
Mm-hmm.
people, all the lawmakers have to address this situation in order for us to move forward. Especially us Black Americans, we've got to address this whole situation. Also, just don't sweep it up underneath the rug, and then the next time we see our young men and our young women dying in the streets. Just the other day, they had a whole family in Colorado. They took a whole family out the car and told them to get down on the ground under gunpoint. You see what I'm saying? A Black family, and now here the children's going to have trauma from this whole situation. You see what I'm saying? And then what did they say? Oh, it was legal to do it. Now the children's going to come up with trauma. And in the family. So we're not just facing, we're facing all these different things in our communities, but the main thing is racism, that we need to address this racism in these communities. I'm telling you, in order to move forward.
Right. And and you're exactly right, Donald. And what we need is somebody like me, and I'll be glad to fit the bill. You need somebody that's going to come in with a strong hand and don't care about any of it. No, take down racism. You got to take it down at the heart.
That's
you
right.
can't let all these white people, all these white police, all these white, like all of, even if you look at the video, when one of the protesters was in front of the camera and whatever he was yelling, but the military guy behind him was nodding his head, yes, yes, yes. We're like, what in the world? The military guy behind him was nodding his head, yes, yes, we were the protesters, yes, yes. Something like that should have never played out.
And Dr. Newsome, did you see on national TV where they took the media cameras? I mean, they had all the media cameras set up, and they just knocked them all down and just start smashing all the cameras. And you think of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars these companies have spent on these video cameras, recorders. I'm telling you, it's just awful. It's just awful.
And they just destroyed them. And I'm telling you, coming in with a strong political force, a strong attacking them. And the thing is, if they labeled them as terrorists, the military can come in immediately. The military could have came in immediately anyway. The National Guard could have came in immediately anyway and stopped all that. They wouldn't have got even close to the Capitol. But because it looked like everybody working together as one, that they were allowed to get into the Capitol, break the windows, get to the doors. The unfortunate young lady that lost her life, all that could have been avoided, all that could have been stopped. And you got to have somebody with a strong arm and a strong hand, because even our governors, I don't even know how they let this play out in their states. You have this disseminate between black and white. We know that we wouldn't even have a reason to go storm the Capitol. What do we care?
Now,
there would be no reason for us to storm the Capitol.
One of the things I loved about the mayor and the stand that she took, she tried to make have things done 2-3 days in advance. And she's got everything. She had everything in writing, and then I guess the Capitol Police, they wanted to take full control of everything, and they had no control,
none whatsoever.
And she has her backing, and she reached out to the military also, and they said, hey, they had to review the papers, and then they had to go to their heads up, that process, but wait until 4 or 5 hours later until the damage was done,
right.
Mm-hmm. And people still now. People in Pelosi's office taking pictures in front of the podium and stealing podiums out the big halls and things like that. Now that that's uncalled for. I'm telling you, it's really uncalled for. It's awful.
And you're right. That event should have never taken place. That shouldn't have never happened. And even Mayor Bowser calling for help. I know here in Maryland, Governor Hogan wanted to send troops over to DC because, like I said, we're up the street. We're like 35, 40 minutes. So they could have gotten there in no time.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want him to send troops up the street. We're up the street. DC is our neighbor. It's our
Mm-hmm.
neighbor. He could have easily sent troops from Maryland to DC and DC and Maryland border. So they could have been there probably shorter than 35, 40 minutes.
Right.
But they didn't even want him to send troops over there to help out. So obviously nobody's going to understand that because you want them to tear up the city, you want them to destroy Capitol Hill. So none of that was playing out with anybody properly because nobody could understand. Well, wait a minute, why don't you want the troops here? Even when the riots took place here in Baltimore, and the mayor told not the current mayor, but the mayor that was here place here at that time told the military to stand down and the police were the people were robbing the mall. They went in the
Mm-hmm.
mall, took jewelry, took clothes, took things. They took everything out of the mall, and the mayor here told the police to stand down. And the police didn't understand. Well, what stand down? At least they could have went and blocked the door, and
Mm-hmm.
the individuals, business owners in the malls wouldn't have had to suffer those losses because they didn't have to fight anybody. They just could have went and blocked the door, and blocking the door means you can't get in.
That's
But
right.
they had a free for all. They let everybody come in, take what you want, and we saw them on the news loading up their cars. I mean, they were taking so much stuff, and then they said, "Oh, we'll get them later." No, you get them now.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to go find them later when I'm looking at them on TV right now? Those individuals at Capitol Hill should have been got right then. They should have been rounded up. If you need 100 paddy wagons, just get them and just
That's
load
right.
them all on and take them straight to jail. You don't need to let them go home and then we'll go find them. Oh, we caught a few of them, really, and they were right in front of you.
Mm-mm.
See, to me that doesn't make sense. Being a politician and being in politics all these years, nothing like that would have ever played out. Would have never played out. We would have handled it right then. Go round them all up right now. They're in the Capitol. Bring them all out. Put a fence around them. Put the military around them. And here, all of you come in all these paddy wagons trucks. I don't care if you pack them in tractor trailer trucks. It don't matter. Just back the truck up and just let them all get on, and we'll take them all to the police station. But to
Um,
let them go home, no, that's not an option.
Now, and we're on part B of this live, and, and I just want to let everyone know on today, Dr. Newsome wears many hats, and we wanted to make sure that we get some questions in on the political side, what his thoughts are, and what he's doing in Baltimore. Now, tell us, you have you've just started town hall meetings in Baltimore, and tell us a little bit about those town hall meetings that you have.
Well, actually, the town hall meetings is we have our own political party, the Newsom political party here in Maryland, and we formulated our party for the fact of what we're talking about today, where the law isn't just on every angle, the political arena isn't just on every angle. You have white people can do this, black people can do that, but it's not uniform all across the board. So the Newsom party is outlined to bring that uniformity together as one. So we're a party of righteousness. We focus on righteousness. We focus on justice. We focus on mercy. We focus on those things that pertain to a good, godly living, a good, righteous living. We should not have to live in anarchy. We should not have to live in chaos. We should not have to live in all these different things. And terrorism outline, no. We should not have to live in those fears in the United States of America. So the Newsom Party is outlined to balance that playing field between the Democrat, Republican, they have their own agendas. In the Newsom Party, we have our own agenda, and our own agenda is treating everybody equal and treating everybody right. Like I said, that event that played out in D.C. would have never played out under Newsom Party administration because we would have made sure we gotten all those individuals right there where they stood, so they wouldn't have gotten away with any of that. So that's something we definitely pride ourselves on is to make sure we're pushing the agenda of doing things that are right and righting all those wrongs in Maryland, in the United States. And that's a big outline of the Newsom Party to make sure we handle a lot of those ill-gotten things that's going on in the country now. So we're really pushing that agenda. We're in search of, we need 100,000 signatures from registered voters here in Maryland. So they can actually go to our website, newsomeparty.com, newsomeparty.com.
Okay.
And we need 100,000 signatures to get on the ballot, the 2022 ballot in Maryland. And being on that ballot under the Newsom Party, you can actually run for any political office you want to, whether it's governor, mayor, congressman, congresswoman, president of the United States, delegate, senator. You can run for any of those offices under the Newsom Party. And if we're talking about changing America, we're talking about changing Maryland, changing the world. We change it from the political arena, because right now all these individuals are able to get away with what they got away with because through politics. Politicians have stepped aside. They said, "Listen, you run amok of what you want to, and we'll back and support you." Just like your police, just killing black people, and then that half-hearted investigation, which really is not an investigation, but that half-hearted investigation where now they just kill black people at random, but then when they go to trial or whatever have you, and they see no wrong done, and we know there's wrong on every level, but that's your political arena. That's your people in government or in political offices getting those individuals off on crimes that they know are crimes, and I mean really murder, really executions, really so many things going on, and your politicians turn a deaf ear to it. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, those people, individuals, and black men mainly, black women mainly, lose their lives because of nonsense, or like you said earlier, be held at gunpoint because of a traffic violation. So the Newsom Party is here to make sure we right all those wrongs. So that's one thing we're big on, to balance this playing field in the political arena. So even here in Maryland, we have some agendas that we're pushing. Homelessness here, our outline and our objective is to eliminate homelessness in America in Maryland. So we're talking with senators. We're talking with the city of Baltimore. We're talking with different individuals. We have an outline we call Project Home that we're working on to take the homeless citizens of African American descent off the streets of Baltimore, off the streets of DC, and actually put them in homes. So some of them, when they come off the streets here in Baltimore, they take them off the streets, but a month later they're back on the streets, or they take them off the streets and put them in hotels, and they haven't learned anything, so they have no choice but to go back into what they just came out of. So that wisdom and philosophy does not work there. But with Project Home, what we're working on is to bring them individuals home, but not just home, but into their own home where they can actually be warm. We last month, December, we had 2 or 3 homeless individuals die from hypothermia. They froze to death
Mm-mm.
when really right next door was heat. See,
Mm-mm.
that doesn't even make sense. They froze to death, but right next door was heat, and they could have lived. So with our Project Home initiative, now we can have them put in their own home, in their own apartment, in their own room, and they can actually stay warm, stay alive, and they can actually turn them into good, viable citizens of Baltimore, good, productive citizens of Baltimore and of Maryland, to make sure we don't want one more life to be lost
Mm-hmm.
to homelessness. So that's an agenda we're really pushing very hard, and the city of Baltimore is helping us out. And so Project Home is really taking on the form of its own more than what we imagined. And Queen Carlenia Springer is actually the brain child, if I would say, of that program, of that project. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of coming on later with the project, but we see God opening major, major doors with the city, the state, the Senate, the delegates. Oh my gosh, he's just opening so many doors. We can't even count them all.
All right. How about, and I just want to give you a couple questions real quick while we're
Okay.
on. And we got about maybe 10 more minutes left for you to 15 minutes to address that. We're going to go extra 10, 15 tonight.
Okay. Okay.
I know we said 1 hour, but while we got you here, we might as well create our own town hall part B. All right. Free COVID testing and treatment for all. We got so many people that's dying in the community. Let's talk about unemployment and evictions, foreclosures during this pandemic.
Well, you know what? So we're really with COVID testing. You might have to remind me of them other ones. But with COVID testing, this is the question I'm putting on the floor, and I put on the floor in several lives and with a lot of individuals. Okay, so we talk about if we transgress from the COVID testing, and let's look at the vaccine.
Vaccine. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I've asked several people, what is the purpose of the vaccine? Okay, I know everybody's saying take the vaccine, take the vaccine, take the vaccine, take the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why am I taking the vaccine? What is it supposed to do? Is it supposed to prevent me from getting COVID? Is it supposed to immune me from COVID? Is it supposed to put me in a position where if I'm around somebody that has COVID, I won't catch it because I got the vaccine? What is the purpose of the vaccine? Because I also put the question on the floor. If you have a headache, there's certain medication you know you can take to cure the headache. I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, so that being the case, what is the vaccine going to do for me or anybody? I hear and you look, and if nobody has been able to give me that answer yet, what is the vaccine going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking it, but does that immune me from catching COVID?
Mm-hmm.
And for what I understand, the
Or
answer
is
is
it
no.
something else? Or is it something else that they're giving vaccine for? See what I'm
And
saying?
that could be a case as well. Donald, nobody's explaining what is the vaccine for. That is such a simple question. I
Mm-hmm.
said, what is the vaccine for? What is it going to do? And talking about the side effects, you have a sore arm, you have a fever for a few days. Okay, so well, I understand that the side effects, but what is it supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody is saying it immunes you from catching COVID. Nobody is saying it you can be around people who have COVID and you won't catch it. Nobody's saying what the vaccine will do. And I told people for that reason I'm out. So
You and me
I,
both out with that one.
I said for that reason I'm out.
So, COVID testing, and making sure that family members are getting tested. In Baltimore, do you all have COVID centers where drive up to get testing?
Yeah, we have COVID centers here in Baltimore. Um, a few months ago, I seen people driving up regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't really see people driving up. I see people, always. I know people getting the vaccine, but I don't even see the COVID testing facilities
Nice.
where people are actually driving up anymore. I see the
Mm-hmm.
facility, but I don't see anybody driving up anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're trying to get people vaccinated, but I'm guessing because if you got perfectly healthy people, why are they getting vaccinated?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Those questions
That's
I
right.
put on the floor because if you have a perfectly healthy person, why are you vaccinating them? Why would you vaccinate the people who have COVID?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, my assistant and myself, Queen Carlenia, we were discussing something, and we said, well, they're looking at the people who have COVID, but they're not looking at how many people recovered on their own without the vaccine.
That's right. Yeah.
To me, that would be that would be what we would study.
That's right.
If you got 40 million, I think the last I looked, 42 million people had COVID, and about a million. If my numbers might be total like accurate, but a million, too many people. Let's say they died, but what about the 40 million that recovered? What did they do? Why is not everybody trying to find out what did those 42 million people do to recover that never took the vaccine?
That's
And
right.
then why would you give the vaccine to healthy people who never had it before?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I take the vaccine if I never had COVID before?
I
It's
know.
not going to prevent me from getting it.
I
So,
know.
so
I know one of the things I did was I talked to a good friend of mine. He said, "Yeah, my whole family had it." I said, "What?" I said,
yeah,
"Well, what did they do to get rid of it?" Said they stay at home.
right. See,
In their normal, function, taking, basic medications and things like that. But that was it, you know.
right,
And I was looking for some other kind of explanation on what they did to cure this thing.
right. And you know what? I would believe the cure is natural because I've had staff members that work for me had it. I have friends who family members had it, and basically what I told people just to breathe in some steam,
Chicken
drink
noodle.
hot soup, tea,
Yeah.
just heat, something with heat.
Mm,
And believe it or not, they recovered from it. So now it wasn't no over the counter. There's no over the counter medication you can take. There's no vaccine you can take. There's nothing you can take to cure it. The only thing that cures it is time and a proper eating. And I tell people to do heat treatments like breathing steam or different things to get past that point, and they've done it, and they everybody I know of that I told that recovered from the virus. My daughter recovered from the virus. The people that work for me recovered from the virus. friends that I told recover from the virus. They said, Dr. Newsom, we were doing what you said, just breathing steam and soup and hot stuff and tea, sip tea and stuff like that, and they've recovered. Now,
Mm,
not saying that's the be all for all, but at least I don't know what medication you can take that's going to cure you from the virus, but just simple things that I saw people you do and recover from it. So like I said, I don't know why would you give a healthy person who never had COVID, shoot them with the virus, shoot them with the vaccine. I'm sorry, shoot them with the vaccine. I don't understand.
mm,
So I don't know who's plan or whose plot or whatever's going on they got going on, but it is not making sense to me right now. And
right.
I'm sure it's not going to make sense to me in the future because it's just not making sense. You
Mm,
got 40 million people that recovered, but nobody want to ask none of them, what did you do to recover? See,
mm.
I don't understand that.
And then then you want to send the vaccine out to the hospital workers at the last minute after they got COVID and died, and then you want to inject them with the vaccine, you know,
Right.
all this, and they done been into this thing since March, some February, March, April, May, June, July, half of a year, have gone by, and now you want to have a vaccine to inject them with, you know.
Exactly. And I'm with you. I don't understand that philosophy. I don't understand that outline. As far as unemployment and moratorium being expiring, I don't know what this new COVID packet with this new COVID packet if they have additional money for rent in there. But I
Mm-hmm.
know with Project Home and what Queen Carlini and myself is doing, we're trying to find right now 1,000 units that are available from landlords where we can actually get people in those units. We've actually talked with the city of Baltimore, and we're working together on a partnership to make sure one, none of these homeless people die. So we're working on getting them off the streets. And we're working on putting them in homes that will be so nobody has to die. So with the rent moratorium expiring, supposed to be the end of this month, January. So now if they extend it through the new COVID package, that would be great. So nobody would actually have to be put out of their apartment or of their unit. So there's a few different things we're working on to try to alleviate that right now while the moratorium is on rent and has not expired just yet. So we're in pursuit here in Maryland of trying to find, at least Baltimore, trying to find at least 1,000 units available. So we're looking to partner with different organizations, different individuals to make sure collectively if we can find these units where these individuals that's facing eviction will not be put out on the street. So we have an amazing agenda ahead of us, and we're working hard to make sure we can accomplish everything that we can accomplish to make sure these individuals will not be put out on the street and will not have to endure. I mean, this is January. January is a cold month for Baltimore. February is a cold month. March is a cold month, and some part of April is cold here in Maryland and Baltimore. So we're trying to head everything off now. So we've given ourselves 3 weeks to get as many of these 1,000 units that we possibly can. And like I said, working with the city of Baltimore, we can get a lot of these individuals off the streets and then see what kind of front we can put forth to with this moratorium on rent expiring this month, and maybe they can extend it further. So right now, at least from Project Home perspective, we're trying to find out different ways we can intercept all that now to make sure those individuals stay in their homes. And we don't want to see not one life lost. So we're putting forth a strong initiative to make sure that happens.
Mm-hmm. Now, your party now. What about having a retroactive hazard pay for all essential workers? We have so many essential workers out there who go to work every day, and they're on with this COVID-19, they're in the trenches, taking care of all the people, all the nursing homes, things like that, the teachers. What do you think about having retroactive pay for those
Yeah, well,
individuals?
actually, in the beginning, I was for that way back in February, March. I thought that those frontliners should have received hazardous pay from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, I think if they were put out in the front, I think their hourly rate should have been doubled. So if you get $10 an hour, you should have doubled to $20 an hour. If you work overtime, that overtime should have been if you got that extra $10 an hour, that hourly rate should have been $15 for overtime and the additional 10, so $25 for overtime. Because one, that would have made it possible for their family to survive, and they would have had a nice income. And not that it's about the money in a pandemic, but you have to let the people know they're appreciated. And that was my biggest thing, is let the people know and understand that they're appreciated. So their income should have been doubled in the beginning. And
Mm-hmm.
if they work past their 8 hours, they should have been paid time and a half, but at the doubled rate. I don't care if they make $50 an hour, you double that to 100, and then at time and a half, they'll be at $125 an hour, whatever have you. But you have to let them know they are appreciated. And right now, I saw no appreciation for them at all. So
Mm-hmm.
retroactive pay, yes, I think they should be paid. Those, Donald, most importantly, those that lost their life, how can you pay them? I mean, what are you going to give them?
That's right.
That's something that should never have happened.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually trying to help the cause, and I've seen it time and time again. So many people on the news lost their life, doctors lost their life, nurses lost their lives, all these individuals lost their life trying to help save lives, and we treat them with no respect. We treat them with no honor. You cannot really give them a price tag of, oh well, they would have made this amount of money. No, 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 no. Just like a lot of those individuals at 9/11, where the government promised they were going to help them, and the government turned their back on the people. And now I think like the last one died, who were
Mm-hmm.
fighting big
That's
to
right.
get pay, because they went and risked their lives. Under the Newsom party, none of that will ever play out. They will be compensated for what they are worth. The sacrifice they put forth, they would be compensated for that. There's no way all them people that participated in 9/11, those firefighters, the police, all them individuals, even citizens that volunteered to help out and died, there's no way you can neglect their family and not show their family no love and no support. So no, I think pay should be retroactive from the day that they allege the virus started, which it's their day is going to be different than everybody else's day. But
Right.
the
Yeah.
point is, they went out and risked their lives, and unfortunately, some of them lost their lives. But being a politician, being in politics, and I told him when I was running for mayor of Baltimore, I said the mayor's job is to preserve all life. Even I was in a big forum, 1,400 people. They didn't even agree with me. And I'm on stage with the candidates. I said, "Excuse me, you don't agree? The mayor's job is to preserve all life." They didn't agree at all. I
Mm-mm.
said, "I don't even know why you up here running. I don't even know why you're running for office. I don't even know why you're in this audience listening. If you don't believe the number one job of the mayor is to preserve all life in the city, then you can't mean it's business, or you can't mean it's things. It's got to be to preserve all life." And from that reason alone, I saw the hearts of a lot of people. And I said, wow, so they don't mind people dying. With Project Home and what Queen Carlene and myself is working on, trying to say we made a determination, no one else will die in this city. No one else would die on these streets. No one else. And the determination we made, and we've been fighting for that every single day, almost 24 hours a day, to make sure nobody dies. And and like I said, when I saw the response of everybody, and when I said that, then they were like, it was like they didn't mind people dying. That was not the number one goal of the mayor. So I really don't understand. I
Mm-hmm.
really don't understand. Has to be the number one goal, is to preserve all life.
Mm-hmm.
What is number two to that? I mean, I wouldn't even know, because that would be first and foremost to me. So that, even from the Newsom Party perspective, even from Project Home perspective, even from me being a former candidate for mayor of Baltimore, that has been always been my agenda, to save every single life we possibly can save.
And what we would like to empower the mind on tonight, to let folks know out there that, hey, you got to get your education. If you're a young person that's out there, make sure you get your education. Don't just settle for a basic job, working at a local McDonald's, Wendy's, things like that, and think that you're going to get by. No, you need a job. You need a
Mm-hmm.
occupation. that's going to pay you and pay you well. Continue with your education. Strive for excellence. Don't stop. Young people like to get out, and party and get with and a lot of them say, I want to get with my friends. I want to get with my friends. And then when something happens, your friends leave you alone.
Right.
And then a lot of times, a lot of people get out here and get pregnant, and they're raising more young babies, and by themselves. And you need to make sure you be wise enough. And this is why we try to empower your mindset, to make sure that you get a good education, so that you can be able to support yourself and your family, during these times. Because I'm telling you, the government, they don't care nothing about you. They'd rather put you in the box. We see so many. Now we see a lot of the older folks going to the hospital, but they're not coming back out. A lot of older people, 80 years old, 86 years old, they're not coming back out. You know what they're doing? They're committing murder right there on the operation table. And so you got to make sure. And we look at the young people, police departments. They just want the young people to become statistics in these towns and cities and things like that. So we've got to be wise enough, to understand what's going on, in our nation. And so this is where we at. So Dr. Newsome, what's next?
What's next? You know what? Queen Carlene and myself, we've gotten so deep into Project Home. It wasn't designed to take on the life and the form that it's taken on now.
Yeah.
And you're talking about education. I was talking to her, I think either yesterday or today, and I said that's an element we got to add to Project Home, education.
Right.
We got to educate our young people. They just can't be a part of Project Home and we not educate them. So we that's one thing. And I told her, I think I don't think I'll quote the name correctly, but we were looking at the Project Home like trade school or something like that, where they're learning a skill, a talent, something where we can enhance, we can develop to make them marketable for a good job. Whether they learn carpentry, plumbing, electrical, hair design, business ethics, just so many things she's outlined in that program, or we outlined in that program. And it's something that we know, we try to find the needs and fill those needs. And with the school that we talked about, we think that'll be a perfect source to start educating our young people and even educating them from the African perspective. Because when we look at history, Western civilization history here, that is not our history. That's it. A lot of that history is made up. A lot of that history is fabricated. Christopher Columbus found America. We know that's a lie. The Black Indians were here first. So you can't, it's just like me coming to your house, Donald, say I found your house. You say, no, Dr. Newsome, I was here first. I said, no, I'm here. I'm taking over your house. I found it. It's mine. Right, and that's the way that they allowed this narrative of Christopher Columbus coming and finding America where people was already here. So you can't find something if somebody already there.
That's right.
But that's a part of the Home Initiative, is that we want to educate our young people. We want to educate them from the African perspective, because there's so much of our history that they don't even know. I don't even know. I've seen a lot. And I tried to encourage people. There's a monument in Senegal, Africa, and it's called the Senegalese Monument. It's the largest Black monument in the world. People don't even know about it. And I've shared it on the internet, and people saw it. They were like, oh my gosh, this thing is like 4 or 5 times the size of the Statue of Liberty. This thing is massive. Senegal, Africa, there's this Senegalese monument that is massive. The monument is of a Black king, his Black queen, and their Black child. The monument, you got to get a chance. You got to see it. It is massive. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So things like this, we want people to see. And as far as Project Home, we just implemented a portion of Project Home where we actually take the young people to different areas, to different cities, to DC, New York, different places where we want to show them these different places that they probably only dream of going to. We want to actually take them there. So Project Home is taking on form that we've never ever imagined. But God is doing a great work, and I mean, He's just doing so much, and we're so extremely excited. We are a 501c3, so God has opened major doors. So I'm looking for exciting things to happen. So the Project Home just takes part in everything, and even with the mayor's office and the Annapolis and the senators, and the God is just doing so much. We can't even count it all. We can mention things here and there, but we haven't even mentioned half of what's going on,
That's
and
right.
and that's just amazing, brother. I'm telling you, God is doing a great work.
All right, all right. I'm telling you, we got so many questions here. I mean, but we're gonna have to have you come back and answer those questions. And don't forget, now you have a town hall, right? And what day is it that you have live on?
We do it. It's Tuesdays at 8 o'clock.
Mhm,
Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow we'll be going. We'll be doing another town hall tomorrow. And basically, we want to know what's on the people's mind. We'll educate the people on certain things, and then we'll tell them what we have going on. But we want to know what's on their mind, and just make sure we want to encourage, like you're saying, we want to encourage the people to do better, even to get involved in politics. Because if you're talking about changing law, it's good to march, it's good to protest, it's good to do those things. But if you're literally talking about changing things, you have to change it from the political arena. I mean, you can be outside and you can hold a sign up and yell whatever you want to yell. But I mean, we heard you yell, but
mhm,
that we need change to take place from the political perspective, and then you will not get what we saw at Capitol Hill the other day. If the true politicians had stood up, if the true police, the true military had stood up, and I tell people, if we look at the Black Wall Street in 1921, the way they were bombed, and
mhm,
actually, and I told people in the military claimed they had nothing to do with that, and I told people, I said, well, when's the last time a citizen had a plane they could fly over a city, and then they had a bomb they could drop from the plane?
mhm.
Only people I know could do that is the military.
That's right.
So during Black Wall Street, when they had over 600 businesses that were bombed and hundreds of people killed, but they destroyed 35 square blocks of nothing but black success.
Mm-mm.
The military, the citizens in the military, the only ones I know that would have asked white citizens in the military, the only one I know would have access to planes and bombs.
That's right.
And like you said, even at the Capitol, there was bombs that were scheduled to be detonated to go off to that they found.
Mm-mm-mm.
But how many more were out there that they didn't find yet? They
And it's
came to
homegrown.
blow. Yeah, they came to
Homegrown.
blow up the Capitol. I can't even saying it. I don't believe it. They came to blow up the Capitol in D.C. I'm telling you this now, and I still cannot believe it. And they found the bombs. You know what? We need a
Nine
new America.
9 more days, and impeachment process. So we'll see what happens. I think the impeachment process is going to take longer than 9 days. So I don't
Right?
think
Exactly.
unless a miracle happen where resignation happens. When it comes down to that particular office. Um,
Could happen. Could happen. Make concessions and resign.
it could happen. I'm thinking all the social medias and they're chiming in and canceling accounts and things of that nature. So I'm hoping for the best. And we've got to continue to put pressure on the government to make sure that they do what's necessary to have this individual step down from the office. I
Right.
think is going to happen. By the voices of the people. That it really counts. So make it happen, everyone. Just don't sit back and relax in your communities. Get things going. Hey, Dr. Newsom, we're gonna be coming back in the springtime. We're gonna bring some youth in to
Oh,
talk
nice.
about some their experiences and how the organizations, how individual can help with some of the things that they've been facing in the communities. I think
Wow.
we need to have a perspective. We just did a youth forum last month. We did the youth forum the 27th, and we're gonna with panelists throughout the country. And so we want to have the youth come back and talk to the panelists. And
Wow.
talk to some of the needs in the community. Then what we're going to do is break it out and come back at the ending of the year again and have all the organizations, individuals talk about what they've done in their communities all over nationwide with our youth. And hopefully we can have you to come in also with us to,
Oh
talk
yeah.
about some of the things that you've done in the community with the youth and what you continue to do. And one of the things that struck me, there are so many all across the nation that are homeless young people,
Wow. Wow.
young
Yes.
young people that are homeless. And it's so sad when you see a homeless young boy in the streets, and just no home to go to, and they're going from Dunkin' Donuts to Dunkin' Donuts to make,
Mm-hmm.
doing a wash up, and nobody knows about it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But them, and they
Right.
live in these streets. And so these are the things that we need to address. And
Let me Donald, let me say something real quick. One, I would love for the president of Project Home, Queen
Mhm.
Carlina Springer, to talk on that when the next time we do this, because she has a huge initiative for young people,
Okay.
and she has an organization called Sacred Spaces where she deals with that personally, one on one with young people. I seen her actually in action,
Hmm.
and I mean some of the things that she talked about, some of the things that she do, I didn't even
Yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
but she has a knack with young people. And even here in Baltimore, real quick, even here in Baltimore, we have these kids called Squeezy Kids, where
Mhm.
they actually go and they, spray people, get money. They spray people with windshields and so on and so forth. But the other day, her and I was talking to some of them, and and I'm kind of hard. I'll admit I'm kind of hard. But I told her, I said, listen, I need you to talk to them from a mother's perspective. And when I saw this young lady talk to these boys, these I mean, it was, I'm sitting there watching her and I'm like, oh my goodness. And this one young kid, she just calmed him right down and
Mhm.
get and talked to him. And and then she has an initiative here in Baltimore that we're putting together with Project Home called Clean Up the Community. And she
Okay.
wants young people involved and everybody involved to clean up the community. So even in that, even not only working here in Baltimore, but you're in Connecticut.
Yes, that's correct. Hartford,
Right. So
Connecticut.
even with Project Home coming in your community and helping out where we can, I'm sure she would be all for that, because I know we're doing Baltimore, Washington, D.C., and even if to come in your community and just see how Project Home works and see how they can benefit your state and your city, I think will be amazing. I'm sure she would love to do it. I'm sure,
Okay. All right.
because it's just in her heart just to
Yeah.
love young people.
All right. Yeah, we'll get together. And that's what it's going to take, for us to come together in our communities and to make impact, in our
Hmm.
communities. I think that's one of the things that we want to do in our communities, and not just, just talk about what we're going to do, but we're going to be about what we're going to do in our communities. And definitely, let's make it happen. And yeah, we'll work it and we'll check out the schedules and have her come on and we'll discuss it and see what we can do to get involved. All right.
Yes, that'd be perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Excellent.
All right. Without further ado, we want to take this opportunity to thank you once again. And I want to thank Linda Sanders, who graciously posted the website for the Newsome Awards is
Yes.
www.newsome
Thank you, Linda.
kingdom.com. Is it? Yep.
Yep, she got it right there. She got it right. Thank you, Linda.
All right. So she posted that. Make sure you go out there and vote, vote, vote. And if you're an artist, you would come on to the award show to perform. They're taking individuals and having them come perform also. So uh,
Yes.
once again, thank you all, and thank you, Dr. Newsome, and God bless you.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity, Donald. Thank you, Linda, and all of viewing audience.
All right. Take care now.
All
All
right.
right. All
God bless
right.
you.
God bless. God bless. All right. We want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Fred Newsome. We did a little overtime tonight with what we're doing. Hey, don't forget, we're going to be having some new artists come in for February. Ending of January, we got on the 17th, we got Linda Sanders coming in. And on the 19th, we got uh, James C. Birdsong as a special guest on here on Vnetwork Radio, Facebook Live. Also, we got in February, we got the New Christianaires coming in. All right, February 8th, we got the Jewel and Converted coming in. And also on the 19th, on the 25th, we've got a special guest that's going to be coming in, and we'll be making those announcements real soon. All right, so we'll see you all the next time around. God bless you, and make sure you share this broadcast. Please share the broadcast, and we'll see you on the next go round. Take care, and God bless.